I didn't see you there. I was just tickling the ivories and getting some practice in. Welcome to the new show. It's the same as the old show. This is the Uncle Ron show now, though, because everything else in my life is Uncle Ron. So why have the one different thing? I know it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but we're trying something different today. I'm having my normal guest, who's Nate Ford, world famous comedian. And we're going to be talking about the upcoming show on June 27th and all sorts of fun stuff. And then after that, we're going to have a selection from the Sad Bastard Songbook, which is oddly enough, I think it's the title of their album, The Slow Harvest. So we'll be seeing something from them. And yeah, so I'm going to go back to playing more piano, and we'll be back in just a minute. Sure, people, Randy Newman. I can't talk. I'm starting to drink at least 64 ounces of water a day now.
Okay, yeah, that's good for they say it's good for the scientifically, the body. And,
they say it's good for something.
Yeah.
It just makes me have to eat more.
Yeah. Just get
like
up.
The other day, I drank 2 of those, and they're 64 a piece. And because I read online, it's, you're supposed to drink 120 ounces a day. And I'm like, well, I mean, it's making me drink less soda, I guess. So, yay.
Well, I kind of gave up soda a few months ago. So,
and how's that working out for you?
The first few weeks were like, especially like if I had like pizza or something like that craving for the soda is strong, but it's, I substituted with water or juice.
Well, and that's the thing is soda is really tough to kind of like get down the palate without soda. If drinking water or something else, it's kind of, you got to have something kind of carbonated, I think.
Well, it's what it is. It's the sugar that just messes with your mind. Like I'm doing this thing called the Whole30. Slowly getting into it, where you just eat, where you get rid of sugars, dairy.
It's hard for me to do with the dairy thing.
Wheat. All the good stuff. Like
right. Like anything bread that you enjoy, we'd like you to not have.
But there's cool things about it. Like you can eat more meats and fruits, vegetables, things that you should be eating, and you can come up with clever recipes and trick your mind. Like, oh, this could be, like a cheeseburger, but it's not.
It's like tofu dick. It's an impossible cock.
I mean, you can have the meat, just not the cheese or stuff like that.
Oh, that's the horrible part. Yeah. See, my doctor, because I'm a type 2 diabetic and I'm trying to stay positive. You get and she said in the morning I want you to eat at least 30 grams of protein. And I'm like, well, what can? She's like, mow down on cottage cheese, eat a bunch of eggs, or and then at lunch just eat a bunch of eat lunch meat or something like, and that kind of thing, and then have a sensible meal. And then by the time I get to dinner, I'm like, I forgot what sensible is because I'm eating just plain turkey out of a container.
Yeah,
I don't know what sensible is.
I can't remember the name of the company, but Amilu sausages are pretty good for breakfast.
Yeah.
And what I've been doing is having a few breakfast
not a sponsor,
sausages. By the way. Could be. You never know.
Yeah, if you guys want to pay us money.
Yes. Let's get a bigger budget. Have Ron have a different background.
I'm working on that. There are some really cool late night talk show backdrops that nice. You can just buy. I'm like, okay, that works.
Yeah. And then had some mango slices.
See, that's my problem is I don't eat a lot of fruits and vegetables, and I think things would change a lot for me if I did.
Yeah,
but it is what it is. So now let's get to some important stuff here.
Okay.
Not the fact that we're a couple of beefy boys. But
Hunk of meats, as they say.
yes, that you go cosplaying as Otis from the WWE. But not that that's a bad thing. I love Otis. Um, he just rescued a dog.
Oh,
Yeah, and so first off, you're gonna be coming back to Wisconsin in how long?
it's been 6 years, five,
Yeah, you'll be
6 years.
coming
Yeah,
back and you'll be headlining McAuliffes Pub on June 27th.
yeah.
And with Gemini the Savage and Hannah Leverson and
And
Uncle
you're
Ron.
hosting. Yeah, you're
Yes, and I'm
hosting.
hosting. You can get tickets right now at I'mUncleRon.com. I've pinned the posts so it's
Yeah,
the first thing you see. And they're $10. Buying a ticket ahead of time guarantee
go.
a ticket, and then
Yeah,
that you can still buy tickets at the door for $10, but we'll see what happens. I mean,
yeah.
if we sell too many tickets,
If
we might have to curb it.
listen, and that's what we need to know. For staffing for the venue. If you
Yeah,
can buy your tickets ahead of time, that would put an ease on the producer. It'll
this
be that guy. It'll put ease on the venue. We know how many people are going to be there. Not every day I'm going to be in the Wisconsin area,
Yeah,
so
because sometimes JJ is like will expect something big and he'll have a couple of bartenders on and then it won't turn out as big as we thought it was.
yeah.
So you basically had a bartender on when you didn't need it. This way he'll be able to tell what's going on, and but it's going to be a lot of fun. And not only that, but you've just have you made it public, your special,
Yeah,
so anybody can watch it now?
it's on YouTube, on the Blue City Comedy page of YouTube. Yeah.
It's the
Weird. Why am I wearing this shirt? I
Yeah,
don't know.
the who knows? Well, it's like, why am I wearing this shirt? Because it was there and it was moderately clean. Now that it's called the 44 Ford special.
Yep, the 44 Ford special. When we filmed it, it was a couple years ago. I turned 44, and my last name is Ford, and so cleverly, a
Go
44 Ford
figure. Go
special.
figure. Also, for those who are longtime fans of the show, I should probably also notice, let you all know that yes, you're looking at it. This is the right show. I know it's called Uncle Ron now, but I've kind of gone under this rebranding thing,
Yeah,
which is fine because everything online for me is I'm Uncle Ron, so why the hell not? But this is the same show that Nate was on all those months ago, year ago, probably at this point.
probably about a year.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and we left off where we were going to be Thunder Underground or Thunder Down Under or whatever it's called.
we tried our best.
We did.
I think we outshined those other dancers,
Well, I
and
mean, why do people want a six pack?
yeah,
Right? Because one could break free. When you got a whole keg, it ain't
yeah,
going nowhere.
yeah, yeah. Listen, still rusts in the rain. So we just have a rubber coating around
Yep.
the
Yeah.
the still.
We just wear a giant condom.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And that's how it worked out.
But
So yeah.
so what happened was, we get there and it's beautiful. Things were going great, and a couple of them were a little jealous about our moves.
I mean, there was that one day where I freaked out because there was a lizard in my room, but
And there's so many lizards, so many, and
yeah, I
I
wish it was a
appreciate it.
lot lizard. That was my big problem.
So me and Uncle Ron were found naked, alone, and afraid in the backwoods
Mhm.
of Australia,
Well, the Outback.
the outback.
Yeah, they don't have a backwoods. They have a here's some other people who are half naked that blow on didgeridoos or whatever. And I'm sure I'm insulting Australian people at this point, but with the small exception of a couple people that I know that are Australian, I just don't care.
And the best part is I found out didgeridoo is an actual instrument. This guy that I
It,
met
it's
said, "Hey,
something that
blow
you
on my
put up your
didgeridoo,"
yeah, and it's
and
not
it
just a
wasn't.
blowjob.
It
Yeah.
wasn't an instrument.
Well, apparently
Mind blown.
apparently a didgeridoo is an uncircumcised dick. So,
Yeah,
but because you blow on it, you can get the skin, and it. If you're watching this, you can understand where I'm going. I'm where
yeah.
you do the Trump hands thing. But yeah. So now then we came back and everything was fine. So at that point, you filmed the 44 Ford special. Now when did it become available on YouTube?
So it was took about a year with the Totus Media who filmed it. If you ever need a filming thing, I believe he lives in Iowa now. I don't know. Totus Media. Uh, Took about a year to edit it, and he did it. He gave us a one hell of a deal, and that I was okay with the time and the process. And so we put it out last year on my birthday, and so it's been out for a year now. There's 1.8 thousand views so far. Uh, I would like a little bit more, but it's
It's an
okay.
hour.
Yeah, it's an hour. It is. I know that nowadays it's the comedy special should be like a half hour. That's people's attention
I'm
span.
noticing that a lot.
Yeah, yeah. But I'm proud of the hour that I did. I put a lot of 23 years of work into it.
Now, this hour you're going to be doing on the 27th, is that a new hour or
It's
the
going to be
same hour?
75% new.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of comedians will, once they put it out, I'm trashing it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not like that. I'm not like the Louis C.K.'s or the Dave Chappelle's. Like every year, there's a new hour. I'm just not built that way. But
Oh, man.
I've added new jokes over the years, and
Right.
I sprinkle them in and change it up a bit. And right now, I have a set that I'm happy with. That's way different than there's a few of the same jokes, but different lineup and just yeah. I'm happy
Right.
with it.
I noticed. Well, I'm not going to make an announcement about it, but you'll notice something after the 27th. But I did notice that some of my jokes that I would do that would get big laughs, don't get big laughs anymore, and I don't understand why. And people are like, "Well, maybe people don't know what Timu is." I'm like, no, everybody knows what Timu is. Or
Yeah.
maybe people don't know who Drew Carey is. I'm like, no, everybody knows who Drew Carey
Well,
is.
not everybody. I mean,
But enough
you got
people to
yeah,
get a,
yeah,
a laugh.
yeah.
You
True.
know, he's on the
Price is right.
prices.
Yeah,
Yeah. So it's not like, and his TV show was on for 5-6 years. That's enough to get going to syndication. So,
yeah.
and we got the amazing Craig Ferguson from it.
But there are now 21-year-olds out there right
That's
now
true.
that have no clue, and I have a murder she wrote joke. All
I do
right,
too.
so it's like it's yeah, it's like you gotta. I mean, older people will know, but if you kind of explain it, I think things will. I don't know.
Well, see, that's the thing is like this, I changed the joke because it used to be about China, the wrestler China, Joni Lore,
Yeah,
and it used to be about when's it okay to start masturbating to her porn again now that she's dead. And I did it like 10 years ago and it got a big laugh.
yeah.
And I thought, okay, well, I'll change it up now and I'll make it even more awkward because Angela Lansbury never did any porn,
That
you
you
know,
know of.
that I know of. Yes,
Yeah,
but she was a smoking hot biddy back in the old days. So, um, and it's just like, when do I start masturbating to episodes of Murder She Wrote? And the thing is a lot of people either watched it fondly and still watch it fondly. Like I know people in Madison who watch it like it's, gospel. Same thing with Golden
yeah,
Girls.
yeah.
But then there are people who watch it ironically. And that's the thing I hate the most is when people start watching things ironically.
Like people are now watching Seinfeld, like
Ironically.
ironically,
Yeah.
and like yeah, I mean it was a different time frame back then than it is now, and so people, I think audiences view comedy differently today than they did 10, 20 years ago.
Right. And do you think that people like a Red Letter Media who did the who I'm talking about? Who did the Star Wars reviews with Mr. Plinkett and all that kind of stuff. You think that
Kind
that's
of,
something where they kind of basically disembowel things as they're
yeah.
going through them? Do you think like the what's the word I'm looking for? This is why I'm getting old, folks. The destruction of content.
Well,
And I hate using that word, but do you think
yeah.
that watching other people destruct content um, is kind of something that might make people not take things as seriously anymore.
Well, I mean,
By the way, I
it's
love Red Letter Media, and don't ever change a goddamn thing you guys do. You're amazing.
no, I mean, wor- like words are important.
Yes, and I'll learn how to use them one day.
Yeah, one day we'll talk pretty. Uh,
Yes, we'll
no,
talk pretty.
well, the thing is, words are important, and nowadays, because of the short attention spans that we have in today's society, what if you want to blame the internet, if you want to blame whatever, just everything's at your feet. Now, words are also with that attention span.
Yeah,
And so you only hear one or two words, and then your mind fills in the rest without actually listening to what was spoken to you. And so, like, you just pick up on that one word, like, oh, I don't like that word. And then now you tune out the
you
rest
missed the
of
context.
the story,
Yeah,
and you're upset or you're happy or whatever. And whatever that content was given to you, it could turn into like, oh yeah, I didn't mean it that way.
yeah, yeah, and that happens a lot,
I
which
still
is
talk
sad.
with my hands. I still talk with
That's
my hands
okay.
today.
That's okay. You're still a Yento washerwoman. It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But over here.
I'm verklempt. Okay.
I've actually started working on an RFK Jr. impersonation because I got the Trump one, and I'm working on the RFK Jr. I just talk like this a whole lot, and I talk about how there's a bear in my brain who was fighting a worm in the park, and I'm married to Cheryl Hines, who probably lost her job
Oh yeah.
on Curb because she's married to me. Let's be honest. Let's be honest about it, And I'm the only Kennedy who has avoided a headshot. Maybe because they don't want to waste a bullet on me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so I think that's pretty good, but it hurts so bad. It hurts so bad, almost as bad as it is to listen to him.
uh Speaking of politics, Joe Biden, everybody.
Yeah, that's if you're depending on when you're listening to this, we just got the news that former President Biden has an aggressive form of prostate cancer.
So everybody's talking about, I don't have any opinions on anybody right now. I'm just saying everybody's attacking RFK Jr. for the worm in his brain, which is good enough. But what if Joe Biden is still president? He couldn't make it for the full term if with what he has.
Well, maybe it depends because it depends. He has access to all the best healthcare,
That's true.
healthcare that you and I would only dream of. And my brother asked me this. The intern asked
You
me this.
mean
He's
not everybody pays their insurance with a bag of change?
no, I guess not. It's like I got this jar. It's a mason jar, and it's full of quarters. Can I pay my insurance with this? And he asked me, well, like what would happen? And I said, well, if he had to go under the knife for it, which the way I'm assuming he's going to, because if it's that aggressive, because my grandfather had prostate cancer. And then 2 weeks later, he was up building me and my brother oak bunk beds. So,
Yeah.
But he's a different era. He was from World War II, and those guys were made of fucking iron. But I told him, I'm like, look, if he had to go under for the procedure, they would swear Kamala in.
Yeah. That's true.
Because
Yeah.
you can't have a president. And then if he didn't make it, then we'd have President Harris.
Yeah.
And then people would realize it's not so bad having a woman as a president.
Exactly.
I mean, I think that, and I don't like to talk politics, but I don't care anymore. This is the subtle art of not giving a fuck. I'm your host, Mark Mason. But I think there's so many other countries around the world who have had female presidents and things turned out great.
Yeah.
I think the U.S. I think Kamala would have won if her name was Carl. And that's disgusting to me.
Yeah.
Because we proved we're okay with a black president, just not a black female president.
No, not at all.
Which sucks.
It's the world that we live in, and that's why we do what we do, by entertaining the folks to give them a little bit of relief, a little bit
of hand relief. Yes.
Yeah.
It's the best.
We're just slowly, just with lube.
Yes.
Just to help out.
I'm looking at myself as we're doing this, and I kind of regret cutting my longer hair off now because they left this here in the front, so I look like like a reverse Dennis the Menace.
Like Dennis the Menace is all grown up
Yeah, like so I'm all grown up, Mr. Wilson.
and still is a menace.
Yeah, and I saw you and Mrs. Wilson in the back room.
Menace, Dennis, you're 45. Go
Yeah,
away.
yeah. Dennis is over there like macking on Mrs. Wilson because he's got a thing for older women.
Yeah.
You know, Mrs. Wilson, if Mr. Wilson can't satisfy you anymore, if he runs out of Cialis, you can just call me up and my shit still works.
Yeah, it's Dennis the Menace, and it's just you in closets.
Yeah. So now when this is something I've never actually asked you, but when did you first decide that you were going to be a comedian? Like it's been 25 years now?
So I did theater. I don't if some people know that, some people don't. But I did high school theater, and then right out of high school, I did community theater.
Oh.
And
That's
within
where the big money is.
no, but it was a passion,
Right.
just like comedy. There's no money. It's just a passion. Eventually there will be. Who knows? I might be dead before then, but whatever. But did community theater, and there was a fellow actor thespian. Um,
That's
he
not
said, "Hey,
pretentious at
hey,
all.
I did the Funny Bone open mic. You're pretty funny too. You should try it." And so okay. So I wrote down 5 minutes of gold material, right?
And let me guess, it bombed.
I invited everybody. I invited my boss, coworkers, friends, family. Guess what? At that moment in time, they all showed up. Yep.
Oh.
And that 5 minutes was 2 minutes of shit. Just pure. I'm sweating bullets more than I am right now. And I shitted it out. I picked up that shit. I put it back into my mouth and shitted it again.
Ooh. And that's the thing is when you do your first open mic and you think, all right, I'm going to invite everybody,
Yeah.
and then they all show up and they watch you bomb, and then they don't come back, and then when you start wondering why doesn't anybody come to my shows anymore, it's because they saw you at that first open mic.
Exactly.
Like
And that,
I got somebody who won't come because he thinks I used to do a joke about how I said, and this is what's really funny, and I'll explain this in a second. Is I used to have a joke where I would say that I'm not, I know I'm going to die someday, and I'm not worried about what people are going to think when I die. I'm more worried about what they're going to find, because I've got my sock drawer and then I've got my sock drawer, and I call it my chamber of secrets. You remember this joke?
yeah.
And I used to have like, oh, more sock jokes, huh? And I'm like, oh God. And then I start seeing someone, and it turns out if you're into the kink lifestyle,
Yeah.
they actually do have people in their lives that they trust to say, hey, if something happens to me, I need you to go into my house and clean out all my shit. I want you to clean out my Viking boat oar that says slut on it. And my didgeridoo that has that my uncircumcised didgeridoo, and it's really weird how I knew about that and I didn't know about that. And it's just like, oh, that's creepy. And so I stopped doing that joke because that's creepy.
Yeah. And like now I'm afraid to invite people to my funeral because I invite people to comedy shows all the time. They go, yeah, I'll be there. I'll be there. I'll be there. Even though I've gotten better over the years. And that's
Yeah.
exactly what happened. After that night, in the back of my head, I go, how can I make this better? And I knew I was hooked. And that was in 1999.
Right.
And that's how most people get their start in comedy. Either they do very well the very first time, and so they have to chase that dragon of finding that, or they do poorly and they just get better over time. Or people
Yeah.
just do poorly and they keep doing it and they don't realize that they're not good.
Yeah.
So,
Have you ever watched that Talking Funny thing with Chris Rock and Ricky Gervais and Seinfeld and Louis
yeah,
C.K.?
yeah.
And I remember Seinfeld, and this is why I don't like him so much, is he's just like, oh, I didn't bomb my first time. I did great. And it's like, oh, shut up.
I mean, he's at that level where, like, yeah, maybe he doesn't remember his first time that well, and maybe he did do well, but he's at this echelon of the comedy universe that he doesn't. You can't strike him down in any way.
No, you can't. You can't. And the same, I would say the same goes for Chappelle at this point.
Yeah.
And
Well, like Sam Morril, there's I don't know if the clip is still out there, but he's at some sort of little comedy club, and he's saying, "Hey, you can't cancel Chappelle. You can't. If Chappelle was canceled, he'd be working here."
ouch. Or like John Mulaney said in Baby J, he says, "What are you going to do? Cancel John Mulaney? I'll kill him." And I almost did.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's it's all about point of view. I think about whether or not the person feels that they're can't like it's going to impact them.
Yeah.
Like with Louis, I know Louis is what he did in the scheme of things. It's bad. Don't get me wrong, but it's not
Yeah.
nearly as bad as a lot of other comics have done, or movie producers, if you will.
Yeah.
Or things like that. And I think him coming out and apologizing, admitting he fucked up, and then moving on from it, and the fact that he lost all that stuff because of it, just let the guy have his past now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he learned his lesson. He lost like $30 million worth of stuff. And now he's arguing with Bert Kreischer about whether or not he's going to come on his big tour. He's like, "I just need you to do 15 minutes, man." He's like, "I'll have burnt everything after Madison Square Garden." And he's like, "I won't have anything, and I'm not going to write 15 minutes of shit."
Yeah.
And I got to respect him for that.
Well, here's the thing. It all boiled like. Do you remember the very first show on Fox TV?
Tracy Ullman?
Married with Children.
Oh, I love that show.
You know what happened during that time frame when it came out?
Huh.
Housewives, mothers, one mother in particular, I don't remember her name, sued Fox for having that show on TV. Now this was what early 90s?
I want to say it was like started in 88, 89.
Yeah, yeah, late 80s, early 90s. Suing for content on TV, which they're still doing today. But here's the thing: you have a remote.
Change the channel.
If you don't want your kids to watch it, you're in control of your kids. Now, granted, most parents now has 2 or 3 jobs and they can't really see what their kids watch. And now the kids have internet. It's a whole big deal. But back then, it was more controlled.
Yeah. No, 100%. 100%.
But if you don't like a certain comedian, don't go see him.
Right? Yeah.
Don't go
exactly.
see her.
Like I remember, I thought that John Mulaney was totally, he's not problematic. And then I found out, and I don't even look at his drug problem as problematic, but the other stuff I saw a little bit as problematic. But it sounds like something that every other person would do if given the opportunity. He cheats on his wife, but then he marries the woman that he cheated on her with.
Yeah.
And they have kids now. So
my dad cheated on my mom. It's life.
Yeah.
But because they're in the spotlight, they're held to a higher standard. No, they're human beings. We're all human beings at the end of the day, and we fuck up, and we have drug problems, and we have marital problems, and we have all this shit. But since you're in the spotlight, you're supposed to be well behaved.
And you're supposed to almost be omnipotent, and and that kind of thing. And I was going through Facebook, and I saw this Reels thing, and it said top 5 celebrities you didn't know were bisexual. Yeah, I knew all 5 of them were bisexual. Angelina Jolie, yeah, I knew that. Drew Barrymore, yeah, I've known that for years. Gillian Anderson, yeah, how do you think I got through the year 2020? I mean, but it's all people that I already knew. Michelle Rodriguez. Yeah, that's pretty clear. I'm more shocked that she's bi and not a lesbian.
Yeah.
But and I think that there's too much of putting the spotlight on someone's sexuality, on someone, what they do with their life when they're a celebrity. Just let them live their life. And especially if you enjoy their stuff.
Yeah.
I'm a huge Bill Hader fan. I don't want to hear why he got divorced.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear about it.
And people are picky as to what evil that a person has done versus another person. Like
Right.
Michael Jackson, people still love his music,
Yep.
even though he
His
may or may
music didn't hang a baby over our balcony.
not. But then there's Kevin Spacey,
Oh.
who's a phenomenal actor, and this is what hurts. Yeah, he's a creepo. Uh,
There's 2 movies now I have a hard time watching because he's in them. And that's Superman Returns
hmm,
and Baby Driver.
I love Baby Driver's such a great movie.
It really
Such
is. It really is. And did you?
just
Oh, speaking of Baby Driver, this is a good segue. Edgar Wright did the Running Man remake. That's going to be coming out.
oh boy. Okay, I
And
mean,
apparently, from what I gather, it takes on more of the book than the movie. And the
okay,
book, it's a nationwide thing. It's not just a confined space.
yeah.
And people are already saying, "Oh, well, the new Running Man, it just sounds just like Hunger Games." I'm like, no, you mean Hunger Games sounds like the Running Man because that book came out before you were fucking born. You fucking Gen Z bitch. That's right, I said it.
Well, I mean, I don't know. It's in the world today with brilliant minds and AI and ChatGPT, whatever. Like, why are we just remaking things?
Yeah,
Let's
no
come
shit,
up with something new.
no shit.
Let's 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 throw an idea. Like we sometimes people who work in writing stuff, they use Chat BG or AI or whatever
Yeah.
to help them. Like, okay, here's an idea, and it fills in the thing. Why not? I mean, they did it with season 2 of Reacher.
Oh,
I think
I haven't watched season 2 yet.
I think AI wrote the whole script.
Oh, it's that bad, huh?
It's I mean, the acting is still there, the fight scenes are cool, but, season 1 was awesome.
Yes.
Season 2 was okay. It's just like, who fucking like, was it during the writer's strike? I don't know. And then
Well, I
they
mean, the guy who plays Reacher has come right out and said, "Yeah, fine, I'll admit it. I want to play Batman," and he'd be a
yeah.
great Batman, I think.
He was in Alan Richardson was in, Titans.
Yes, he was
Uh,
Hawk.
yeah, played a great, superhero bad guy or
Yeah.
whatever, just
Yeah, I do it.
yeah. But
But
season 3 was amazing. It went back to, like, somebody wrote for it, and, like, the fight
okay.
scenes were ins I highly recommend it. Sit through season 2. They're an easy watch. It's not like it's Oscar worthy, but
It's never going to be Oscar worthy. It's like
yeah.
watching John Wick
See, I like John Wick. Too
because
many
there
of them.
isn't a whole lot of dialogue. It's just people getting their ass whooped.
Yeah, and which makes me appreciate Nobody so much more. Nobody
Yes.
is John Wick with more meat.
Yeah, there's way more character development in Nobody.
Is it
Nobody 2 looks amazing.
is it August 15th it comes out?
I think so.
I'm excited. They're on. Yeah, like Bob Odenkirk, you wouldn't expect it.
Nope. Hey, but you know what? Nobody saved his life because when he had his heart attack on Better Call Saul, all
Yeah,
the working out he had done kind of helped his body. So
that's true.
good for that. Oh, that scared the shit out of me when I heard he had a heart attack. I'm like, wait, he had a heart attack?
It's you find your vice in the entertainment field.
Yeah, you having a heart attack is his vice, I guess. I don't know. It's what you
Well, I
want to do,
mean,
I
what
suppose.
led up to it? I don't know what led up to
I don't
that
know.
heart
Maybe
attack.
I mean he's married and got great kids and stuff, so it's probably not well unless he's into getting pegged. But that's all besides the point. That's neither here nor there. Or he's sucking on an uncircumcised didgeridoo. For the
Yeah.
record, I love Bob Odenkirk. I think he is a national treasure, and we must put him in a bubble so no one can hurt him. And then
Oh,
throw Bill Hader in there too, and who else? John Mulaney, I guess. Richard Kind, because Richard Kind is awesome. He's a
yeah.
huge sweetheart. And if you aren't watching Everything's Live with John Mulaney, you need to watch it. It's so fucking good.
He is a fantastic. He's like Andy Richter, the really great sidekick.
Yep.
Out there at the podium. Also like that one guy. Who's that one guy?
If you're talking about Jimmy Fallon's guy, we don't talk about Jimmy Fallon here. It's like Bruno. We don't talk about Bruno. We don't talk about Jimmy Fallon.
But that guy, I like that guy. He's
I think he's a producer on SNL.
is he?
Yeah, and he just kind of like comes down to do the
Kind of the
what's
opening.
the corpse of the Tonight Show.
Yeah. But
But
then Jeff is also fantastic too.
oh,
You
Jeff
know?
the gay robot
Yeah,
from Craig Ferguson, yeah.
yeah,
And what's funny is bringing it back to Red Letter Media, Robert Thompson, or Josh Robert Thompson rather, who was the voice of Jeff the Robot,
yeah.
was on a ton of episodes of Red Letter Media, like Half in the Bag and all sorts of. I don't know about Half in the Bag, but definitely Best of the Worst. And it was fantastic because they did this whole thing, and it was really great.
And I think what works for a duo to work like that is that the hosts like Conan O'Brien or John Mulaney, they let their co-host shine
Mm,
as much as they do,
yes,
and that makes it work. But if you try to outshine each other,
yeah.
then it doesn't work. Then
Well,
there's fighting. There's
yeah, you mentioned Conan, and it brings me to this. It's like I think both of us had existential crises after watching the Mark Twain Conan
uh
Award. I'm not. I'll never be that good of a host. And you were like, oh, I should quit comedy.
no, like it's just like I'll never like I know I will never be like that loved within a within a world of comedy.
I don't think I'm that
Like
loved in my own house.
even the jabs were out of love,
Uh-huh.
and just I think Kamal crap,
Kamal Nanjiani.
yes, like his TED talk, his
That was funny.
Conan talk, like,
Yeah.
and here's the 3% of what he did.
Yeah. I think Mulaney fucking destroyed.
Yeah,
I loved Sarah Silverman with the lips bit. That was hilarious. And she's
yeah.
like, leave him on the chairs when you go because the guy that took over loves to grab pussy. Which was fantastic. And the thing that bothered me though is where was Bill Hader?
That's a question.
You get
He
Will Forte to play Mark Twain. Bill Hader would have been so much better.
it's I know, maybe he was busy, maybe he was filming something at the same time, who knows? I
Maybe. I know he's got to
maybe
make that money. He's in those new car commercials for the Volkswagen and with the Californians. Stuart, what are you doing here?
maybe he was a masturbating bear. No, that was not revealed.
That's very true. That's
Usually it's
very true.
revealed at the end, but who
He
knows?
could have been the masturbating bear, which was but no, it was just so much fun. And obviously there's the one person who got their Kennedy or their Mark Twain prize taken away from them, Cosby, as
Like
it should.
his thing on HBO Max, I think it's now called HBO Max or Max
It's
HBO
back
or
to being HBO Max.
whatever.
I don't know.
Yeah, Uncle Ron, come on, let's do
Yeah. Yeah.
it.
Uncle Ron Max.
Uncle Ron
Yeah,
Max.
don't forget to try my new streaming service, Uncle Ron Plus.
Uncle Ron Plus
Yes.
slash Dingleberry.
I don't know. And it's free with Spectrum.
But he's doing that Conan O'Brien on the go or go must go.
Yes.
And like I've always had a kind of a weird dream of doing kind of like touring the country and doing kind of like a foodie slash comedy, like
Right.
go to random food places and kind of a reality TV show that way. And that's always been kind of a
I actually
lofty.
had the same thing. I was talking to JJ about it, about going to like different bars and restaurants and stuff in Wisconsin because there are so many bars.
Yeah, it's bar, church, school, bar, church, school.
Church. Yeah,
Bar.
basically. Yeah. So you're at the school and you're ready to be sent over to the church and you get your Snickers bar and then you go to the bar afterwards because you need to drink away the thoughts of that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep, that's pretty much how it works. It's a little conveyor belt of shame.
The new
So.
Chicago Pope is gonna.
Oh man, the new so many people are like, oh, I can't tell you how many times I've seen, Chicago got a pope before a quarterback that can throw for 4,000 yards. It's like, you know how many times I've seen that? Yes, it's still funny being a Packer fan. It is still hilarious. You know, and I love it when Bears fans are like, "Oh, well, the Bears are undefeated at Lambeau Field for 2025." It's like, well, there's 2 more games coming up, motherfucker.
Yeah,
just wait what happens.
My favorite joke of all time with the Bears and the Packers is like, "Oh man, we lost we lost my favorite Packer quarterback, Jay Cutler. He was so good to us, so good to us, so good.
So even though you weren't born here
Mhm.
and you only lived here how long? 10 years maybe?
So all in all, altogether 17 years in Wisconsin.
And
Uh,
but yet you're still a Packer fan.
yeah, my dad's a Packers fan, so it just
Okay.
kind of he was briefly born in Ellsworth, Wisconsin,
Ah,
until his family moved to Texas and then all around, and
okay.
he eventually ended up in Idaho where him and my mom met and boom, 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 and
And they went like this a couple times and I'll pop
yeah,
some kids.
hey, it's
What are you
me.
gonna do?
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bedroom bam bam.
And
Um,
so like he watched the Packers a lot, and so I just kind of I wasn't like I said, I was a theater nerd, and so like I wasn't really into sports, but I did watch the Packers, and living in Wisconsin, got to go to a few Packer games, and just it's the emotion, it's
the Packer
the
fan culture is way different than anywhere else in the
oh,
country.
it's insane. Like ask any other fan from any other team, and they said the best tailgating is in Wisconsin and Green
Yep.
Bay.
Yep. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because even though they hate your team, they treat you with the utmost respect. Whereas
Yeah.
where you go anywhere else, like you should probably get your car safe.
Yeah. And I saw somebody say, "Oh, well, now that the Pope is from Chicago, ketchup is a cardinal sin on your hot dogs." I'm like, "Well, then I guess I'm going to fucking hell."
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I mean that's what I use for lube on my penis. But
I don't know if this is true or not, but I think the story where the mustard comes from, um, I heard it from somewhere or something, but at the meat factories where they make the hot dogs, it tends to smell, and so they cover the smell with mustard. And so that's where the
motherfuckers,
that's where
motherfuckers.
the mustard actually, like, kinda comes from, where, like, oh, yeah, that it covered the smell of the rotting meat. That's, I don't know what, it's like we have a sugar factory in Idaho, and so you think, "Oh, sugar factory, that's it's phenomenal, it should smell good." No, because you got rotting, sugar beets out and about, and so, like,
Disgusting.
yeah,
Yeah, that's very disgusting. But
it
okay, so okay, you can find me and Nate June 27th, McAuliffes Pub, Racine, Wisconsin, 3700 Meacham Road. It's Nate's headlining, and your old pal Uncle Ron is hosting. Uncle the Ron is hosting,
Gemini the Savage is
and Hannah
featuring.
Leverson's going to be there. It's going to be a lot of fun. You can get your tickets over at I'mUncleRon.com or at the door if you feel lucky. Well, do you?
Starts at 9 o'clock, right?
Yes,
9
because
p.m.
I started noticing since I started booking shows at McAuliffe's, I would do it at 8 o'clock, and it just feels like things got done too early
Yeah,
because it's only like an hour and a half, and
yeah,
that's pretty much what it's going to be on the 27th. So 9 o'clock, you're out of there by 11:30 ish, maybe,
yeah.
or 10 to
Gives you
30 ish.
gives you time to get home from work, shower,
Yep,
take a nap. Come on out.
that's right.
It's gonna be a good time. It's been a while. If any of my friends that still live there want to come out, you should come out. Let's do
And
it.
you can get,
Let's
like
make
I
it
said,
happen.
you can get your tickets at I'mUncleRon.com. They're $10. Secure yourself a chair or a stool, I guess, because it's a bar.
Yeah.
So, but it does act like a rock and roll pub because someone will be at the door taking the $10 or taking your ticket or the whole thing. So, yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Now, what tour dates do you have coming up before then?
Now May 29th, I'm in a thing called the Tiny House here in Omaha, Nebraska. And then June 28th, right after the Racine show, I'll be in the Appleton, Nina area at the Holidays Pub in Appleton.
Oh, that's a trick.
It's not too bad. I mean,
You're gonna notice how much better Racine is than Appleton. I said it. Yeah, go fuck yourself, Appleton. I said it. That's right. But
well, I have friends in both areas,
right,
and they're spread enough apart that it doesn't affect one another.
works for
And
me.
yeah, So
and that'll be your actual birthday show.
yeah, June 28th is my actual birthday, but I'm going to celebrate my birthday all weekend long.
There
It's
you
my
go.
it's my birthday year.
It's my birthday weekend.
So come out, celebrate, bring tip money, put money in my shorts, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, and if you're enjoying the evening and you do want to tip the comedians, that is not frowned upon.
Yeah, but make sure you take care of the wait staff first.
Yes, I'm not sure who's working at McAuliffes that night because it's a ways out.
Yeah,
but there's not a bad person on the wait staff there, so definitely take care of them.
They're going to be taking care of you all night long.
That's right. And then if you're not from Wisconsin and you're from Illinois and you come up and you order an old fashioned, it's not going to be the same as you get in Illinois.
We muddle things here.
That's right, bitch. We muddle. We're gonna muddle that motherfucker. And where can people find you on social media, sir?
On all social media, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Venmo, Cash App, Comic Nate Ford.
He's actually doing a thing on Instagram right now, trying to get to 1 million followers by his birthday.
I mean, it's another lofty goal, but I'm having fun doing it. Bringing up some past stuff and doing some new things and just keeping active on the social medias that you have to do these days.
Yeah.
Because some clubs and bookers like to see that you have followers, not that if you're funny or not.
Yeah, trust me, I've seen you, boy.
But,
So, but all right, I want to thank you so much for being on here. It's been a pleasure, and I guess I'll see you in the really real person on the 27th.
See you then.
All right. And we're back, and now we're going to be serenaded with a video off of the Slow Harvest's new album, selections from the Sad Bastard Songbook. They'll be performing at Linneman's in Milwaukee on June 13th. Look for them on Facebook. You'll get all sorts of updates with that. And this is Staring at the Horizon from selections from the Sad Bastard Songbook by the Slow Harvest. And we'll see you next week.
I've been sitting, staring at the horizon, waiting for that sun to rise. As the minutes turn to hours, I'm still smothered by these darkened starry skies. And I heard a voice call my name. Was she somewhere in the trees, or maybe on a different plane? So I followed, but it seems I lost my way. And I fear that this is where I'll stay. I've been sitting, staring at the horizon, but frankly I don't know up from down. Does the past precede the future? If there's no time, then how can it slow down? When I wake up, I can't catch my breath. All my thoughts are flooded with terror. In eternity we cannot rest, so I try to imagine some better place. But I fear I won't see another day. This way since I was a kid, the panic of grandma gone. I try to turn the grass, but there's no peace of mind, and all that is going on and on and on and on. like I've been waiting here all my life. Oh, yes, I've been waiting for these brighter skies. Oh, yes, I've been waiting for these brighter skies.